Welcome friends, today we delve into the ancient wisdom of the Book of Job from the Bible. The Book of Job is an ancient poem that wrestles with deep questions about human suffering and divine justice. The Book of Job is an ancient poem that wrestles with deep questions about human suffering and divine justice. It tells the story of Job, a man of wealth and righteousness, who faces immense suffering and yearns to comprehend why. This enigmatic tale challenges our understanding of life's trials and God's role within them. Join us as we navigate through chapters 10 to 13 of this profound text. In chapter 10, Job voices his despair, questioning the reason behind his suffering. Job's lamentation is a raw, unfiltered expression of sorrow. He feels forsaken, abandoned by the very God he has served faithfully. His pain is not just physical but emotional and spiritual. He struggles to make sense of his affliction, asking, "Why was I even born if this is my fate?" Job's suffering seems senseless, arbitrary, and he can't help but question the justice of it all. He cries out, "Where is the fairness in life when the good suffer and the wicked thrive?" His faith is tested to its very core as he grapples with the paradox of a loving, all-powerful God allowing such suffering. Job's anguish is palpable. His questions are our questions, his doubts our doubts, and in voicing them, he opens a dialogue on the nature of suffering, faith, and the mysteries of God's will. Job's struggles lead him to question everything, setting the stage for a profound discourse on the nature of suffering. Job's friends, Bildad and Zophar, respond to his lamentations in chapter 11. Bildad, the Shuhite, and Zophar, the Naamathite, are driven by a sincere desire to help their friend. Yet their perspective is steeped in the belief that suffering is a direct consequence of sin. They contend that Job's plight is a divine punishment, a retribution for some hidden transgressions. With conviction, they encourage Job to seek repentance, to humble himself before God and plead for mercy. They are adamant that a clean heart will lead to divine favor and restoration. However, Job, in his anguish, rejects their counsel. He refuses to accept their black and white interpretation of his situation. He argues against their simplistic understanding of his predicament, asserting that his suffering is not a result of personal sin. Their well-intentioned advice, though offered with a belief to comfort, only serves to deepen Job's existential crisis. Chapter 13 sees Job defiant, rejecting his friend's advice and demanding an audience with God himself. In this chapter, Job doesn't simply bow his head in resignation. Instead, he stands tall, his spirit unbroken, his faith unwavering. He insists on his innocence, refusing to accept the notion that his suffering is a result of his own misdeeds. His heart holds a burning desire to argue his case before God, to question the divine plan. He yearns for a face-to-face encounter with the Almighty, a chance to seek answers, to seek justice. His friends, however, fail to grasp the depth of his pain. They offer advice that echoes hollow in his ears, their words laced with judgment and devoid of true empathy. Their lack of understanding only serves to fuel Job's defiance. He criticizes them, his words a mirror reflecting their shortcomings back at them. Job's spirit remains undaunted. He refuses to be silenced or pacified. He defies the norm, the expectation of quiet acceptance. He challenges, he questions, he seeks. His defiance is a testament to his faith, his belief in his own innocence, and his trust in God's justice. His stance is bold, it's audacious. It's a defiance that shatters conventions, that dares to question the divine. And this defiant stance sets the stage for a dramatic confrontation with the divine. For it is in questioning, in seeking, that we truly engage with our faith. Job's defiant stance sets the stage for a dramatic confrontation with the divine. As we conclude our exploration of these chapters, let's reflect on the main points discussed. We journeyed through Job's raw lamentation, his unfiltered questioning of God's justice, and his soulful search for meaning in his suffering. Despite the severity of his circumstances, Job does not shy away from expressing his doubts and his pain. He even dares to challenge God, demanding to argue his case before him. We also witnessed the responses of Job's friends who, despite their good intentions, offered little comfort or understanding. Instead, they insisted that Job's suffering must be punishment for some hidden sin, a claim that Job vehemently denies. This narrative of Job's defiance in the face of suffering and injustice is a powerful testament to his faith. It challenges us to reevaluate our own perspectives on suffering, divine justice, and the power of unwavering faith. This narrative invites us to reflect on our own understanding of suffering and divine justice. Until next time, continue seeking wisdom in unexpected places.